Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. Really quickly, before I get into the plan with me, I just wanted to show you guys this spread in case you're interested. I did do this off camera for a couple reasons. One, I was incredibly sick and really wasn't up to filming. And then two, after the next week I was feeling better, but my tripod broke and I'm so behind that I really needed to get a spread finished while I was waiting for a new tripod. But I figured I would go through a couple things that happened this week. If you're interested, if not, feel free to skip ahead. But starting with the first thing that happened on Monday, I finally got my stuff back. If you saw my birthday plan with me, you know what I'm talking about. It took her 3 months to finally give me my stuff back. I had been constantly asking, but trying not to put too much pressure on her. But she kept on coming up with excuses like she wanted to wash the shirt before she gave it back to me, which was complete bullshit. I got it back absolutely filthy. Like, it even looked like she might have worn it more than once, like it was stretched out. The wine glasses were also dirty. And the only way I got it back eventually was by telling her that I was having company and needed the wine glasses back like this week. And also, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, she lives 30 seconds by foot away from me. So there was really no excuse for her to just keep my stuff hostage for that long. But whatever, I got it back. On Tuesday, I got a haircut, and it's the first haircut I've gotten in years that I just absolutely loved. So that was great. I also had my first Red Bull in a week. I tend to not drink Red Bull when I'm not feeling well. I don't know why, I just don't want it. I went to Quizzo this week and we finally won for the first time. Actually, we won one other time, but I had to leave early before the winners were announced or something like that. I can't remember. What else this week? Some sad news. My roommate's grandmother's house burned down, and unfortunately she was inside it. So that was definitely a damper on the week. And then the last thing, on Saturday, I went to a free concert, just like a local band, so nothing to write home about, but it was still fun. And then the final thing I wanted to mention about this plan with me, on Sunday, I finally watched the movie Shang-Chi, and I thought it was great. I heard not so great things about it, but I loved it, and unpopular opinion, I think it's a million times better than the Black Widow movie. Hated that movie, thought it was so boring, and none of it was funny. Anytime they tried to do comic relief, it just totally fell flat. And then after that, I worked until 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, that's everything that I did this week. Now, moving on to my plans. In this plan with me, I'm planning from the 7th to the 13th, and this was the week of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer anniversary. So I wanted to use this kit from, I think it's Shop Jessica Hearts. I'll have it. You see it in the title. But anyway, I'm definitely used to a certain style of kit, so using these kits that don't come with as much is definitely a challenge for me. However, I am happy with how it turned out in the end. It's also a photo kit, which is very different, and it's got a very interesting color scheme, at least I think so. And I decided to pull out my overlay tapes and add some silver foil to this spread. One thing I will mention is that I wasn't the biggest fan of the way the date covers looked, but I also wasn't happy with how empty the top of the spread looked. So off camera, I did decide to add some dripping blood to the top just by hand, which you won't see in this video, but you'll see it when I eventually post the spread to Instagram. I did have to pull in a few of my spare labels and stuff just because there wasn't enough in this kit for me, but either way, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Actually, at first, I wasn't too happy with what I did with this kit, but then looking back, I actually really like it. I don't know, it just, it really grew on me, and it was nice to do something mildly different for a change. Obviously, it's still pretty much exactly the same thing I do every week, but let me have my moment. Moving on to the sidebar, the first thing I decided to mark, I ended up marking 3 events this week just because I didn't have enough full boxes to fill up the sidebar. So I just marked that I had to care for Brad. Janet was still really young at this point, so I would take her with me when I went to my boyfriend's place. But because my poor roommate, her grandmother was in the hospital. She was staying in New Jersey with her family all week, so I just was doing like double duty, which of course totally fine, completely understand, but it did like affect my week, so I wanted to mark that. Under that, with this box that's actually from like a monthly kit, but I love that shops started using boxes that fit the weekly spreads instead of just the monthly spreads, because I'm able to like save them and use them. So this is a box from a monthly spread. I just marked that I ran a lot of errands this week. And then the final thing I marked with these little, this hat and mitten, again, just like leftover deco from a kit. I marked that it was cold and it snowed this week. Now, moving into the day by day, starting with Monday, the first thing I marked with a quarter box, not from the kit, and this little Happy Munchkin head off a freebie. I marked that I couldn't believe I woke up on time with a little thing, and this pumpkin paper coat, Tara, underneath a rain cloud. I marked that it was raining, but it was also 75 degrees. With a little thing and this box from Sticky Perks, I marked that I dropped off packages. With a piece of washi and a car icon from the kit, I marked that I got a really shitty parking spot when I went back home. With either, I think it's a piece of washi or I don't know, something that I had left over, and a Paper Shire desktop, I marked that I worked. With a squared off label from the kit and these munchkins in a theater, I accidentally inverted these two plans and marked that we looked at couches, but I actually meant to mark that we watched Euphoria and The Bachelor, and then underneath that with a quarter box from the kit and these olives sitting on a couch. That's when I meant to mark that we looked at couches. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked with this worried munchkin from Once More With Love and a little thing was that I slept in way too long. With a quarter box from the kit and a foiled paw print icon, I marked that I went home to tend to Brad. Then with this squared off label that I had left over from a kit, but it was like, it has like a smoky pattern on it, and I thought that sort of worked because when you kill a vampire in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they turn to dust. Smoke, it's close enough. I marked with this coffee cup and this Fight Me Munchkin that the coffee shop underneath me finally opened, and the smell was so strong it was making me sick to my stomach. I was having like a lot of nausea around this time of year. I don't know why, it might have been my medication, but the incredibly strong smell of coffee was making me really sick, and there was nothing I could do about it. And everything online, like if you Google how to get rid of the smell of coffee, all you will get is tips on how to use coffee grounds as like an air freshener, because people love the smell of coffee. And I love the smell of coffee too, but like having your entire apartment just smell like used coffee grounds when you're already feeling sick is just not it. I hate when things smell like food or anything like that when I'm not making it or drinking it or eating it. It just really bothers me. So yeah, I was pissed. With a little thing and a munchkin off a freebie, I marked that I worked. With a little thing and this icon, I don't believe it's from the kit. This is like a leftover icon. I marked that I placed an order with Zara. With a little thing and these munchkins watching TV, I marked that I watched the movie Unfaithful, which I've seen a million times. This is one of my like movies from when I was young that I will just go back to every once in a while to watch, especially when I just need like background noise. And then the final thing on Tuesday with a little thing and a foiled nail icon, I marked that I did my nails. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with this squared off box and another worried munchkin was that I overslept again. With a half box from the kit and this computer, I believe from the kit as well, I marked that I had work this day, but I did something a little bit different. I just spent like a ton of time tracking shipments for one of the companies we do work for. With an appointment label and a little running icon, I marked that I ran and then did a 45-minute plank workout with a little thing, and this is leftover from a kit. I'm not sure which one. But anyway, this little like face mask towel girl, I marked that I did a scalp cleanse with a little thing, and litter scoop, I marked that I did the litter. And then the final thing on Wednesday with this Munchkin drawing, I marked that I drew a little bit. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and this sad sticker from Once More with Love, I marked that I was just feeling really anxious this day. With a quarter box and this girl from Fox and Pip doing some shopping, I marked that I went outside of Philly to run errands. I just really needed to like get out of the city. I didn't want to deal with the people around here, so I even though it's a waste of time, I just was feeling so anxious I needed to leave, so I drove way out of the city. Honestly, you really anything within an hour is still too close, but I did the best I could and ran a bunch of errands. Then I marked with this grocery sticker that I've had forever, I believe from Papershire, and I've been dying to use it. I marked that I went to Aldi with a half box and this Munchkin barbecuing, which I did not barbecue, but I marked that I made scalloped potatoes and broccoli. Ever since I've been having a lot of nausea, I haven't been able to just eat steamed broccoli plain. I've been able to do that since I was a child, basically since I've eaten solid foods, and it's the one vegetable I could count on, but something happened and now the taste is really bothering me, so I need to mask it. So I just ended up mixing the broccoli into the cheese of the scalloped potatoes, and that I was able to get it down that way. It just sucks because I just already don't eat healthy enough, so taking away the one super affordable, easy, low maintenance vegetable out of my diet is just not the move, but I don't know, I'm trying. With a little thing and another desktop from Papershire, I marked that I worked. And then the final thing on Thursday with a little thing and this foiled movie slate icon, I marked that I watched Euphoria. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and this stack of papers and an iPad from Papershire, I marked that I worked. With a little thing and a puzzle sticker from Once More with Love, I marked that I did a puzzle. With this squared off box and this Kiss My Ass Munchkin, I marked that I was super irritable this day. With a little thing and this pizza sticker I've had left over from somewhere, I'm not sure, but I marked that we got Pizza Hut and it was amazing. Pizza Hut, if you like Domino's and pizza, chain fake pizza, I prefer Pizza Hut when it's done right. And this was done so right. But it's rare. They usually screw it up and I've not. And then it's mushy and too cheesy and gross. But it was great this time. With a quarter box from the kit and this running errands sticker I believe I got from Paper Crown Prince. I'm not 100% sure. I marked that I ran errands with Joe. With a half box and these munchkins watching something on a laptop, I marked that we watched Euphoria. And then the final thing on Friday with this munchkin having a beer, I marked that I had a couple drinks. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with a flag and this Stick with the Plan Co. girl by a window in a blanket. I marked that it was very snowy and rainy this day. With a little thing and this bed from... can't remember, I'm sorry. I just marked that I slept in. With a quarter box and this barfing munchkin, I marked that I was just nauseated all day for no reason. I'm sure there was a reason, I have no idea what it was. With a little thing and this Once More with Love puzzle munchkin, I marked that I did some more puzzling. With a little thing and this emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Just looking overwhelmed, I marked that the site I need to use for work was down. With a piece of washi and this TV icon, I marked that I just watched a ton of TV this day and really did nothing productive. And then the final thing with a quarter box and this planner sticker I've had left over from somewhere, who knows, I marked that I did some planning. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked with a quarter box and this alarm clock, I'm I'm not sure if this was from the kit or not. I'm not 100% sure. I apologize. But I marked that I got up earlier than I thought I would, which is cool, with a little thing and this laptop sticker, again, that I've had left over from somewhere. I marked that I did some work with a half box that I cut down to make a little bit smaller, and this blow dryer deco that I've had forever. I finally got to use it, which is always exciting, like using a super old sticker that you've just been hoarding. I marked that I cleaned my old blow dryer because I was selling it. Then under that, with a little thing and this package sticker from Once More With Love, I marked that I packaged up some sales that I had made with a little thing and this munchkin outside waving to the sun. I marked that it was like a nice sunny day finally. With a half box and this car foiled icon, I marked that I ran some more errands. With a little thing and this baby pooping, I marked that we finished making these like baby baskets for some of the members. I think 2 people on my boyfriend's soccer team just had babies, so the whole team like pitched in to get a bunch of stuff to make little gift baskets, but he was in charge of getting all the stuff, hence I was in charge of picking all the stuff, which I was more than happy to do. It was like very fun for me. So we finished the baskets this night. With a half box and this hamburger deco from a kit that I used, I marked that we got McDonald's. And then with this Munchkin Once More With Love movie theater sticker, I marked that I started watching Unfaithful again, but this time with Joe because he had never seen it. And I can watch that movie more than once, even though it's not that good. Don't care. The final thing this week that I did, I marked with a little thing and this little book. It's It by Stephen King, but I read a book called Telling on Myself, which is an autobiography by Betty Broderick. And it's pretty bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad, but I've always been interested by her because this is probably wrong of me to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I kind of don't blame her. Don't blame her. The way that her husband just like mentally tortured her and then left her for a younger woman, I don't blame her. But whatever, agree to disagree. If whatever, murder's wrong. I know, but he was an asshole. So that's where I'm gonna leave you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.